It has been a while since a new serve was introduced into the pickleball game, and who better to do it than the #1 player in the world, Annalie Waters. And in this video, you're not only going to learn the step-by-step process of how to do this serve, but the precise times to use it to score easy points. When spin serves were made illegal back in 2022, many players went back to the drawing board to try to figure out how they could still create spin on their serve without it being illegal. But the reason that rules were implemented to make these serves illegal all started from a pro named Zane Navertil. Zane, back at the end of 2018, came out with the chainsaw serve. The chainsaw serve is where you either roll the ball off of your hand to impart spin in either direction or off of your paddle in either direction prior to making contact. So as you can imagine, doing this causes your opponents to be way off balance when they're making contact with the ball, especially if they don't know the direction that you spun the ball. And so actually what happened is players would watch Zane prior to him tossing the ball to figure out which way he was spinning the ball to know which way it was going to bounce after he made contact. But Zane quickly adapted to that too by serving facing towards the back fence so that they couldn't see where he was tossing the ball. So it looked something like this. He would toss and then he would make contact out in front of him. So they had no idea which direction the serve was going to spin after it contacted the ground, and this created some very laughable situations. And then in 2021, an even more nasty serve was introduced by pro Morgan Evans, which is the one-handed reverse slice spin serve. It's an absolute mouthful, but essentially what was happening is he was watching cricket and he noticed how the players were getting the ball to bounce in different directions off of the cricket pitch. And all that this came down to was a manipulation of their fingers and their wrist with the ball. And so he took his non-dominant hand and copied them to impart spin on the ball prior to serving the ball. And these created the most laughable situations that you will ever see in pickleball, because he could get up there, spin the serve, they wouldn't know which direction it's going. He could hit a slice serve to where it's going to curve out this way. But since he imparted so much spin in the opposite direction with his fingers and wrist, it would actually go in that direction. So that brings us to 2022, when these serves were made illegal. So as you can imagine, as I mentioned before, many players went back to the drawing board to figure out how they could still impart spin on the ball without first spinning the ball in their hand. And that's when the screwball serve was created, which looks like this. It spins off to the side. And also the banana serve was created, which spins off in that direction. Both of these serves are super effective, but they aren't the most consistent. And so that's why you see the vast majority of pro players and rec players using topspin serves, because they're confident that that topspin is going to bring the ball back down into the court time and time again. And that's why this new serve that was introduced by Annalie Waters is so cool, because it doesn't just impart spin on the ball, it also is way more consistent. The screw top serve, which looks like this. So not only is it curving out like a screwball serve does, but it also has a ton of topspin on the ball to bring it back down into the court and kick at your opponent, thus getting to them faster than a screwball serve and being more consistent. And by the way, this serve doesn't actually have a name. I just thought that the screw top serve sounded super cool, because you're starting with the screwball, finishing with the topspin serve. Not a lot of thought went into it. If you guys like that name, you can let me know below. And if you can come up with a better name, comment that one below, and the one with the most likes is what we can move forward with. So if you're ready to learn this serve, let's open the playbook. But first, really quick, before we hop into it, if you want my help improving your pickleball game, I need to tell you about the coolest training tool in pickleball that I use all the time, the Pickleball Drills app. It has hundreds of different drills that are regularly uploaded with video tutorials to help you not only get the reps in, but to do it with the right strategy while feeling tournament pressure. I created this app as a way for everybody to quickly improve their pickleball game. I went from losing a 4-0 tournament to winning a 5-0 tournament in the period of 3 months, and it all came from using the drills that are inside this app. If you drill with this app just a few times a week, it will be impossible for you to not improve your pickleball game. So if you feel stuck and you don't know what to do to improve your pickleball game, this is the app for you, and that is our guarantee that if you don't see real results in the first 30 days of using the app, we have a 100% money back guarantee. No questions asked, and on top of that, you get a 7-day free trial. And that's just simply because I and thousands of others that are already on the app know that it works. And maybe you'll even end up with results like these players are seeing right here. So if you want to level up faster than all your friends and see real improvement in your pickleball game, you can go to pickleballdrillsapp.com and get started absolutely free. You can also click the top link in the description of this video. Happy drilling. All right, so now let's break down the screw top serve. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Austin. I've been coaching tennis and pickleball for the better part of 10 years, and I like to go into the nitty-gritty of things. So just know that I'm gonna go into deep detail. You're gonna know everything that you need to know to be able to hit this serve as soon as you get out onto the court. So let's start by talking about what this serve is. So as I mentioned before, I named it the screw top serve, but that's not actually the name because we're hitting side spin on that screwball serve. So we're coming underneath the ball and then we're following that up with topspin. And so if we start up here high, it looks as if we're just hitting a normal topspin serve, but we're actually cutting underneath that ball. And what that's going to come down to is where you're making contact with the ball. So first and foremost, let's talk about the contact. In order to create that screwball side spin as you cut into the ball and then follow it up with the topspin. And so I'm making contact with the ball just in front of my knee out into the court. It's gonna really help if you lean in and step into the court after making contact. You can have one foot inside the court after contact, okay? So you can have one foot just has to be on the ground behind the baseline at contact. After contact happens, you could actually jump if you wanted to and both feet could come. A lot of people think that you can't step into the court, but you absolutely can, and that's really gonna help with this serve. So one foot behind the baseline, you make contact, other foot goes inside the baseline, or you make contact and you jump into the court, which is going to impart even more power with that forward momentum, utilizing your legs. So we're making contact out here. I'm going to start with my paddle tip upwards towards the sky. It's going to be pointing towards the ceiling. The reason that we want it up here is so that we can scoop down and build that momentum. I like to think about a roller coaster. I'm coming down the roller coaster, building that momentum, that acceleration, slow, fast, and I'm finishing fast, progressively getting faster through the motion. So I want to start up here so that I can start at the top of the roller coaster, come down it, cut into it, and then brush up it. So literally picture that you're drawing a huge U out in front of you. As soon as you make contact with the ball, hit your normal topspin serve. So from here, I'm cutting underneath the ball, hitting the bottom side of the ball, acting like I'm giving the ball a haircut as I brush underneath the ball. Giving it a haircut, it's spinning out. So if you can picture that, we're coming down the ramp, creating that U, giving that ball a haircut, and then right after I make contact, I'm rolling that wrist over the ball. So the best way to think about this next portion is as soon as you make contact, you're now going to create a windshield wiper motion. You're going from pointing your fingers downwards to pointing your fingers upwards. So it looks just like this. So I'm cutting and then I'm brushing. Cut, brush. Cut the hair, brush the hair. Create that U as you come underneath the ball and then brush up. And so just to give you guys that side angle, if the court was right straight in front of me, I would be here, I draw that U, I'm dropping it right out in front of me. I draw that U and then I brush up the backside of that ball as I make contact. And the key is right after contact to create that windshield wiper. We're accelerating as we come through the ball. You have to accelerate with this in order to create spin. That's one of the main problems with the screwball serve is that if I accelerate really fast, wow, that's pretty rare, I'm not gonna lie. But if you accelerate really fast, typically with the screwball serve, it's extremely hard to keep the ball in because you're hitting the bottom side of the ball and you're hitting underspin. So since it's I can speak English, but since it's spinning in this direction, it's floating. And typically you'll float the ball the harder that you hit it like that. That's more normal for what would actually happen. But hey, it's honestly super impressive that I hit that first one in. That's what's great about this serve is since I'm creating that topspin, that was a perfect example. That almost went past the baseline, but then it dropped last second because I'm creating the topspin. But then you can also see it's kicking out wide. So all that motion is tip up, ball out in front of you, not to the side of you. If you go out to the side, it's gonna be way too hard to create the top spin that you need and the side spin that you need. Directly out in front of you, you're cutting after contact, you're brushing. It's gonna bring that ball back down into the court. So I'm sure you're super excited about trying out this serve, but before you do, there are some really important things that you need to understand. First and foremost, This serve, you can use it as often as you want, and that's just simply because your opponents think that you're hitting a topspin serve. It looks exactly like my topspin serve. There's my topspin serve. As you can see, it didn't have any side spin kicking it out. And here is my screw top serve. Right as it bounces, it curves out to the side, and that was with 50% acceleration. I didn't even accelerate through that ball. So the more that you accelerate, the more spin that you can impart, and the more manipulation that you can cause on your opponents. And just to prove this theory that you guys won't be able to tell if I'm hitting a screw top serve or a topspin serve, I'm gonna be hitting 4 serves in a row. It could be topspin, it could be a screw top serve. You have to guess which one it is. The only catch is you're not gonna see the ball land and see where it spins. So the video is gonna pause, you guys are gonna have a couple of seconds to guess, and then it's gonna play, and then you guys will see what type of serve it was. Here's serve number 1. Serve number 2. Serve number 3. And serve number 4. So let me know how you did in the comments below. Obviously, I kind of tricked you guys. As you can see, all of those serves were curving after contact. I actually did hit a screw top serve on every single one of those. So if you did guess topspin, let me know. If you guessed 100% correct that I did screwball on all of those, you're absolutely amazing. But that's the best part about this serve, is that they really don't know that you're hitting this screwball serve. It just looks like a topspin serve because it is essentially identical, other than the fact that instead of coming under the ball, I'm just coming on the back side of the ball. And people can't see that because I'm doing that during the fastest part of my motion, right as I make contact with the ball. So that is the screw top serve, or whatever you named it in the comments below. I'm super amped about this serve. It's gonna be an absolute game changer. It's gonna take over pickleball because it is so effective. It's not just a gimmick serve. It is actually effective. It's more consistent. You can hit it harder, and it's gonna create more spin to kick at your opponents. If you wanna see more videos just like this and learn the techniques and strategies and tactics in pickleball, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It takes all of 2 seconds, and it helps me out more than you know. And if you wanna continue improving your pickleball game and hanging out with me, you can watch this video right here, and I will see you over there.